All right, guys, welcome to the new week. What a start it's been. I'm going to jump straight into price action before we continue with the other content, just to kind of make sense of what's been going on for those who have been wondering. So, whilst I'm here, I'm just going to put this into a group. This just helps us to organize our ideas and kind of bounce in and out of them as quick as possible. So, of late, we saw this triangle that popped up, and we made some short profit over there, some long profit over there, and then we said, okay, cool, let's hang back and just wait for this triangle to play out. Technically speaking, you aren't really allowed to trade a triangle because of the lower highs and higher lows, which makes it a very poor reward risk ratio. So when triangles come up, you just kind of sit back, allow them to play out. This one has literally been the weirdest one I've ever seen. So yeah, again, we made some short profit, long profit, and then just bounced around. We were waiting for the triangle to complete itself, and then just boom, and try to break down to the downside. Some say that the symmetrical triangle is there to create a trend continuation after a bit of sideways notion. But in my experience, it's not always been the case, so I don't live by that rule. Here's an example of kind of why not to believe that kind of thinking, because this jumped down to create this lower low, and then from there just raced up to create a higher high, which is now building up along. So not a very straightforward and structured play to follow, and obviously something to concern ourselves with regards to market structure, as now we have to understand what's going on. With that said, none of the guys in my community took any losses from this at all. And in fact, I've been getting praise from the guys to say like, "Wow, we're sitting back in patience, but it's better than ever before." It's coming from a place of self control, and because the guys are becoming to understand the market better and following the rules of not rushing the market and not trying to get in at the wrong places, they're sitting back and holding their capital close and just waiting for the ripe market conditions to kick off. So yeah, it can be painful for those who are impatient to see this price action jump from about 4.7 to 5.3 and go, oh no, why did I miss out on that profit? You didn't really miss out on that profit, guys. Like, because Bitcoin is open 24/7, it doesn't mean that it's profitable 24/7. Like, just wait for the responsible trades to get in, to make themselves available to you, and then simply line your pockets that way. You don't have to rush every single turning point, because there are thousands upon thousands of great opportunities still to come. Make sure your capital is still there for that. Hold it to your chest and trade responsibly. Okay, so with that said, let's take a bit more sense of what this market is right now. So we're going to take that triangle away, bring back our workings over here, and kind of just talk to the post that I sent out. So 9 came into a 10, which is a lower low, which is downtrend, and then bang, it went up to a 1. So that's higher and an uptrend. Now, the question is, where's it going to go next, right? And so we drew this probability out. I think we said it wasn't a very serious one. It's just, yeah, we said our first swing at the next turning point. So nothing too serious. And we just kind of said, all right, I mean, if it is turning here, then that's where it will turn next. But I decided to continue. Now, whilst I'm on this subject, guys, it's very important to remain responsible and in control of your own money. And like, when you come across this kind of information, it's super powerful. And like, you just want to believe, and you just want to be at the sidelines, at the spectator sport, and throw your monies at the bookies to do your sports bets and that kind of stuff, and just be like, all right, fine. I believe in my football team, so I'm going to go say it's 2-1, and I'm going to give them all their money. And when the match finishes, I'll be rich. Like, it's a different world between being on the field and off the field. So if you're going to be kind of spectating and going off of these calls on your own accord, I really encourage you to first come through to us and to do the due diligence and to understand what we do and how we do it, because there's certain fundamentals that you want to bring into your trading experience so that you don't get let down. Okay, the last thing I want you to feel is like let down by me or anything like that, because there is, although this information is highly accurate a lot of the time, to trade with it is comes with a whole set of disciplines that you need to keep in mind as well. For example, when you put a trade in, you only trade with trend. So over here, although we had put a short signal out, some traders may have gone short on that short signal. Well, it's not really a signal; it's just the forecast for the next turning point. To be clear on that, and then trend continues to go up. Now they're going to feel defeated and upset because they lost money. All right, so they hit the stop loss and they go, "Oh my gosh, I can't trust this guy," whatever the case is be. But the reality is that you're not informing yourself as much as you can be. So when you're trading with trend, and there is a higher high, you don't short the higher high. Okay, you wait for the next low because in an uptrend, you buy low, sell high. So don't short the higher high. It's that kind of stuff that you need to be aware of. And again, if you want to go to get the fundamentals down, and I've made this information available to everyone. So go to MTOPS Academy here, the link on my profile, give that a click, and it should take you through to YouTube, and the videos are there. Just to ensure that you guys are just kitted with the basics. Trading with trend, you've got your turning points understanding, and you know how to set up a cycle. You understand the quadrants of a cycle, law of alternation, that kind of stuff. Just at least get the absolute fundamentals down before even considering entering trades that are based on what we suggest. Because even though we suggest them, we know that we're dealing with markets, right? We're dealing with with probability. The future doesn't exist. There is thousands of or hundreds of different cultures putting their own idea of how to make profit into this market and so forth. And things, you know, become relatively unstable or unpredictable at times. For example, this little run over here, it was really illogical. This is not a normal play. For it to come down to this lower low and then just shoot up like that, it's not normal. But did we lose any money whatsoever? Not a single dollar, guys. Not a single dollar from our side, because my community really understands these core concepts. Don't trade against trend. Protect your capital until the price action is out of the kill zone, and so on. So let me just chat about this kill zone. We can look at the other cycles and move on with the market update. It says here, this is why we don't trade until we're outside the kill zone. Now, for those who don't know yet, this is the kill zone over here. It's this first block on the Gantt square. And this is where price is still deciding on whether or not it's at a turning point. So if you get into okay, say for example, you think that that's the turning point. Okay, and that's pretty much what we did think a little while ago. So we thought that was the turning point, and we're like, all right, cool, let's trade on that. Well, let's not trade on that, let's forecast from that. And it says here, don't trade until we're outside the kill zone. So we thought it was a turning point, da 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 da. I said, no, it's not the turning point, and then boom, broke up a little bit further, which means stop losses, okay? So should we have waited, which we're not trading this anyway because it's against trend, but hypothetically speaking, just for the purpose of this example, should we have waited to get outside of this kill zone, then we would have confirmation on whether or not to get in, because the new turning point is now in. But because we didn't do that, or some guys didn't do that, bam, continue going up, probably hit their stop loss, and just wait, man. Just wait. Just have some self control. I'll wait until you're outside of the kill zone. So I think I'm going to stop at that point and move on. Okay, so the higher cycle, we got this whole bunch of weirdness, right? What I saw happening here was price going down to this region. It came down instead to this fourth arc, and then this fourth arc pumped it up to the 2/1, which I thought, okay, cool. That's a super weird move. I've never seen anything like that before. But maybe it's just wanting to go to the 2/1 line and then travel down and perhaps get to over here and then drop into our zone. But it doesn't seem to be the case. I think this triangle kind of pushed the market into this weird position where it dropped down to the fourth arc and then it found its resistance and then pushed on through to this area over here to perhaps start a new uptrend. Now, the reason I say a new uptrend, because if you look at the oscillator up top here, you can see the switch within this region, and then again it continues to go up and up and up and up and up. So yeah, sure, we could have anticipated this being the potential uptrend, and it's something that I was talking about in the videos. If you guys have been keeping close to those, so I said, okay, cool, it could be something along these lines, but let's just rather wait. And we did wait. Obviously, none of us made any losses whatsoever, and here we are. Now the trick is there is now a lower low, right? So there's the low, here's now the lower low. Okay, so this lower low is where we start to measure the new uptrend from, which is going to be quite exciting if it is what we think it might be. So when an uptrend bursts out of a low, to the impulse, the impulse point to that big of a range, like when it jumps out into that amount of energy, then the price action to follow normally gets pretty energized. So we could be seeing some good movement back up again. But with that said, sometimes what happens is that there is this big energetic run initially, and then it loses momentum and then comes back down. See the 1/8 over there, boom. So yeah, guys, when I talk about this kind of thing, it's all here inside the Gann square. So this 1/8, that's the 1/8 line. You can see how it just kind of jumps out of there and now it's up against, right? So this 1/8 over here is holding up the price, but depending on how much energy the market has right now, it could continue going up, which I don't think is very likely. But what we've seen in the past instead is it go down. So it goes, all right, cool, I haven't got all this energy, and then bang, to one of these other travel lines where it gains momentum and then continues its path from there. Okay, so we're just going to let these probabilities, or the structure rather, build itself out so we can start making some accurate forecasts off of them. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for now. Let's not talk to that much longer. This over here is obviously cancelled. As I was saying in the videos, that we're going to kind of progress with the movement of this to ensure that it happens. And along the way, once again, because we're often dealing with the markets together as a community, we update one another with the next play. So the information that comes through TradingView isn't as frequent and as informative as what's going on in the community. So when tricky plays come out of the woodwork, like really none of our guys are at risk in any way. So if you want to be a part of that, I mean, obviously join in, come be with us. Okay, 7, 8. By the way, Ant, if you're watching this, my friend, well done, you called it, which means that we're off to turning point 9 now, which is actually pretty good with regards to spacing. So I haven't locked that, unfortunately. I need to do that now. So what I'm talking about over here is that 8 turns into 9, so 9 will form within this quadrant. Again, guys, if you don't understand what I'm saying just yet, go to the YouTube. All the information about that is there. So 9 will form within this range. It's a lower low over here, so the question will be whether it will break above 7, okay, as a higher high. And just to get a bit of help on that, we go up one level to the quarterly, and the quarterly suggests that we're pushing up against this red line over here. And if we have to go into the midline of this, kind of pull it across in that direction. Yeah. Okay, just very quickly, and it's not an official forecast, but I mean, I work with this quite a lot for it to be second nature. I think price is going to migrate up towards the 55 or 56,000 range. And I just want to put that information out there just to see whether or not we're going to get a higher high here or a lower high. 56. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very high, lower high. So I don't know if there's enough energy in the market for it to be there. It could just kind of migrate across to over there. So guys, just protect your capital, save it for when the market is ripe and predictable. Right now, it's not the case. We just got to wait for the correct market structure to unfold. I think that pretty much covers a great deal of information for today. I hope it's been valuable to you. And have a great day further, guys. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and start the conversation. It's very important that you get to know how to utilize what we've got here, because it works. And also, if you're going to be trading off of it, it's doubly important that you understand at least the fundamentals. Okay, ciao for now, guys. See you tomorrow.